Hi guys, Spicy Sushi here. I just wanted to show a quick sneak peek at my 3.15 League starter. It's going to be a Raider Explosive Trapper. I'm going to explain why we do Raider in the build guide that will come after patch notes, but basically we're throwing about 10 traps per second. And Explosive Trap is absolutely busted for bossing on a budget. Incredibly better than Ice Trap, I promise you. The path of building DPS calc is totally inaccurate for Explosive Trap, and maybe that's why people have stayed away from it for so long. But anyway, to go over it, we're in this build showcase, we're going to use a 5-link Tinker Skin to compensate for a 30 to 40% DPS loss in 3.15. Um, I'm going to include a breakdown of all of the items. These are all pretty budget. This is basically just a quick rundown. Any Explosive Trap, Enchant Base, and Deafening Essence, Scorched Fossil, or Fire Harvest Reforge for T1 physical gain as extra fire. It's a 1 in 12 chance. Deafening Essence, like I said, Scorched Fossil 1 in 16 chance, or Harvest Fire Reforge 1 in 16, or actually lower. But we got lucky with that life on that, so I will probably not be hitting that high life in the actual league. This is Caster or Etheric Fossil Reforge on this ring. And once we hit Assassin's Mark, we just take it. Doesn't matter what else is on the ring. But we got the two-tone boots. So this is basically, I just went with two-tone, not necessary. As you see, my cold res is way over cap for some reason. I definitely did not optimize this very well. But I just chaos spammed that until I hit 25% movement speed or higher. The Circle of Anguish, very cheap version. It's reduced reservation ash, which is like 30 chaos according to Pewee Ninja. In week 1, the Arn's Anguish, expensive early, but it's going to be about 15 chaos by day 3. So I use this in combination with slave drivers because we get endurance charges, which give us brutal charges. So when we get those, that's going to be a triple damage modifier if we hit that proc. But slave drivers, about 80 chaos by day 3. And the Scepter, fire damage to spells does absolutely almost nothing for this build. A 20 chaos wand with the fire spell skill gems is only like a 5 to 10% DPS loss. So like on a 20 chaos one, you just do any kind of spell damage plus 1 fire, and then hopefully you'd be able to craft. You'd either want to hit crit strike chance for spells or increase spell damage or multi or something, and then craft on a third modifier. So for about a 10% DPS loss, or 5 to 10%, I think, depending on what you hit, you can make a wand this good. So trigger socketed spell, you'll have to get that. I've tried many setups, but this is just trigger socket spell is so good for quality of life, and people sell it day 1 on TFT, or you can find someone if you know a crafter or if you get it. So it's pretty cheap. It's like 20 chaos for that craft, I think, off TFT day 1 and cheaper afterwards. Some people do it for free on TFT just for vouchers. But yeah, so the only mods to look at here is the spell damage, crit chance for spells, plus 1 fire, and multi. Multi is going to be pretty hard to get, but yeah, I bought this for 40 chaos. At this point in the league, it'd probably be maybe an Exalt or something, maybe less, or early day 1, day 2, day 3. So yeah, and these two flasks, Taste of Hate, usually like 40 chaos early. Promise, super easy to get. It's like 15 chaos. And then our passive tree, we do have an intuitive leap in here. I could drop this for like a 10% or a 5% DPS loss. Hopefully it's not as expensive next league. But yeah, nothing else besides unstable payloads, which are, dirt cheap. This is a very garbage jewel considering fire damage to spells does nothing for this build. The cluster, I estimate that these two clusters are going to take me about 100 chaos to 150 chaos to craft early, like week 1. I've heard from people in my chat that these are very easy to craft with just Alk and Scour, so maybe I could buy a base early and hit that. So yeah, all in all, the build is definitely under around 6 exalts, around 6 to 8 exalts by day 3, which I do plan on doing if I want a boss farm. So enjoy the clips and be looking forward to the build guide after patch notes, hoping that Raider doesn't get nerfed, that is.